Mm, 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 mm. All right, AOA podcast back for another episode. Friday show, weekend show for a lot of people. A lot of people listen on the weekends, Cuddles.
Okay. I hope you have a good weekend.
Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. We got a big show. CVS pulling all sorts of cold medicines from their shelves. Kind of crazy story there. Travis and Taylor Swift, what she has forced him to do, which I called, by the way. Are the Real Housewives in trouble? Some people seem to think so. Plus the 15-year revenge plan and America's whoopie count. All that and more on this episode. I don't know if we're getting a J-Sabs, even though the last story is hers. If you couldn't tell, the sex story is hers. But Cuddles is here. What up, Cuddles?
What up?
Oh, little of this, little of that. It's a
Okay.
Friday show. Cuddles has concocted the most wonderful cocktail, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. I'm also having one too. I hope all of you are enjoying whatever it is that you enjoy as we jump into the daily topics of the day. CVS is pulling cold medicine from the shelves. We talked about this a little while ago, that there was a study that was done and the Food and Drug Administration came out and said, hey, all those cold medicines, yeah, maybe don't work. After doing some additional testing, we kind of figured out that they probably aren't doing anything. And that was a couple of weeks ago. And so now CVS, which is, I believe, the nation's largest pharmacy chain. I mean, if it's not them, it's Walgreens or
Yeah.
what's the other one?
Rite Aid?
Rite Aid. Yeah, I guess that's probably the top three. And I kind of feel like once one does something, they all do it. Because remember when CVS pulled cigarettes?
Oh my God, yes.
And they became like this health thing. And I don't know if Walgreens or the rest of them even still sell cigarettes. I think they all kind of followed suit with that. I could be wrong. With that. But today they said that they are voluntarily removing certain common oral cough and cold products after the FDA determined last month that the active ingredient isn't working. A CVS spokesperson said, quote, "We are voluntarily removing certain oral cough and cold products that contain phenylphrine. There's not an F in that word. As the only active ingredient from CVS pharmacy stores. Other oral cough and cold products will continue to be offered to meet consumer needs. We are aware the FDA advisory committee's position on oral phenylphenylphrine and will follow direction from the FDA to ensure products we sell comply with all laws and regulations." 16 members of the FDA's non-prescription drug advisory committee agreed that oral phenylphrine found in common versions of Sudafed, Mucinex, Vicks, Allegra, and Dayquil isn't effective in offering a relief from nasal congestion. The FDA clarified that neither the agency nor the committee raised concerns about safety issues with the use of oral phenylphrine at the recommended dose. So they don't do anything, which is not that big of a surprise because, I mean, I feel like we've all been sick in the last 2 to 3 months, 4 months. I feel like the entire country's been sick.
Yes.
There's been a second pandemic of just sick, just whatever it is, strep or RSV, or, I mean, I've had this chest thing for months. It's kind of finally still gone away, but I still feel some flare-ups from it. You were feeling a little sick. I feel like everybody's allergies are out of control. I don't know what happened during the pandemic or if it was like the year that we all kind of spent away from each other. But coming out of it, I feel like everybody has been a lot more sick with common cold stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think we were just all far away from each other and we weren't giving each other like colds and shit like we were. So, we didn't build up more like our immune systems. Our kids didn't. That's a definite. Our daughter is just like a walking germ.
She's a petri dish.
Oh God, that one.
She's the worst. I hate her. Oh, I mean, yeah, I feel bad that she's been sick so much. Yeah, but I, it's the same thing. Like the first time I went to the doctor, I'm like, yeah, I can't breathe. I'm coughing and I can't breathe. And they were like, okay, go grab some Mucinex and whatever, and you just grab this stuff and you take it for a week. And this is what always drove me crazy about this stuff. You take it for a week, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm starting to feel better. And I always thought in my head, what if I just didn't take this? I would have still been suffering for a week, and it would have ran its course, and it would have been out of me, and I would have had $18 more in my pocket.
Yes. I think that's what happened to me because when I was taking care of our daughter, whatever she had, she kind of gave to me, and just nothing really worked. I wrote it out. That was
Yeah.
it. There's nothing more that you can do. Just deal with it.
Yeah, just deal with it. I like Robin's idea. Just get the tussin. Remember that old Chris Rock bit? Put a little water, shake it up, more tussin. You get that great. There's a fucking, because that was true. There was Robitussin, and then there was just generic tussin. It's just to fucking get it on the old tussin bandwagon.
You know where we went wrong?
Where?
It's just the good old Vicks.
Remember?
The good old Vicks, just rub it like all over you.
On your chest, and you just breathe it all in under your nose.
What did your mother tell us to do that time?
Tape onions under my feet.
Oh, yeah, that was it. The onion thing. Yep.
You can't talk to an old Italian woman when you're not feeling well.
Nope.
If you have a scratchy throat, you have to stay away from old Italian women because they're like, "What do you got a little thing?" This is what you do. Tape onions to your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Hold your arm up like this all day long and bark like a dog for 2 hours, and then it's going to open you up. It's just going to open you all up, and you're like, I don't.
Yeah.
I was so miserable though. I remember I forgot what I did, but I was like, if I have this for one more day, I'm gonna go and get fucking onions from the store.
Well, you're a bitch, so
it's true. It's a good point. Feels like it's a little early in the show for that, but okay.
Listen, I'm just being honest. I'll always be honest with you.
I'll tell you what, Renee's got the idea here. Hot toddy and sweat it out. Uncle Richard would take, whenever he didn't feel good, he would take a shot, or he would do a hot toddy. He would do a shot of whiskey, get under a heavy comforter, just sweat that shit out. He swore by that. He swore by it. Trish says anybody who got the vax lowered their immune system. So many I know have been getting more cold. Unvaccinated haven't been catching as many colds. I'll have to check in with J-Sabs and see how she's doing.
I know. We have to see how that. But she's got I don't know. She gets sick and it's like nothing. She's out shopping and gallivanting and sending her kids to school. I don't know. We have to ask her.
Yeah, she's up to all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of fucked out. That's kind of fucked up because they're selling all this bullshit that's really not working.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it was. I forget what I'm trying to look into my notes. They switched to this oral phenylphrine a couple of years ago from something else, and I forget what it was. I want to say it was whatever is in Robitussin, but I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat is going to have it. But they made a move to this. This isn't like an old school thing. This phenylphrine is a new kind of thing. And they switched to it for some reason because whatever was in cold medicine prior, I don't know what the reason was, but it was like, oh, this is safer and better and all that jazz. And now it's been out for 5 or 6 years or 10 years or whatever it is, 15 years maybe, I forget. And now they're like, oh, it's not really working. And they're right.
But wasn't old cough medicines and wasn't there like real actual drugs like cocaine and shit in them?
Oh yeah, well, back in the good old days.
They fucking knew. Those people, they knew. God.
Yeah, back when we were a country, am I right, Cuddles? We had a backbone to us. They were like, let's put a little coke in the medicine. Who gives a shit? What's the big deal?
Let's make everyone happy.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Like we watch shows. Remember when we used to watch Boardwalk Empire? Where all these people did was drink and fuck all day long. You're like, this couldn't have been society. And then the more you get older, you're like, no, I get it. And that's kind of the way.
It is. As I drink right now.
Yeah. At some point, they were like, we better get our shit together and stop drinking so much. Maybe we'll get to the moon. And then we did in '69. And then what happened? the 70s hit, we were like, fuck it, let's just do drugs again. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, that's basically the history of America right there. Gather around, kids. I'm going to tell you about the history of the United States of America and thus the world. This is kind of how it went. We drank and did some drugs and fucked a lot.
Yep.
Then we got our act together and went to the moon and
it's just been a shit show since then.
Yeah, we discovered some stuff, and then we thought, well, fuck it, let's do some drugs again, and we did, and it was fine for a decade. And then we thought, well, then computers came, and we were like, oh, we got to let's do some computer stuff. And we did that, and then the 90s came, and we did Friends and Seinfeld for a little while, and then we've just been kind of floundering ever since.
Exactly, and putting fake shit in our, like, medications and whatever.
Yeah, we went from have a little cocaine if you're feeling bad to try this phenylphene. It's safer for you. It's better. You know?
Yeah, that's why everyone was fucking skinny back then.
No shit.
Because they were all coked up.
They were all coked up.
They were all fucking coked up.
Yeah, they were all just coked up. I like you like watch Bulwark Empire or some of these old shows, like, you know, the old West, and you're like, these guys are just, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning, and they're just like, where could I get some booze? And you're like, what? How is this a way to live? And now we look at it and we go, they had it figured out back then.
They might have had something going there.
What are we doing? Taking our ineffective phenylphene on our way to our fucking yoga class, you know, just so we can drink mashed up greens in a glass and what? So we could stretch it out and live another 6 months to a year? Well, it's not going to make a difference.
No, I'm fucking done with these people on Earth now, right as it is.
It's amazing how different this attitude of the show is on a Friday.
By Friday, we're like done with everyone's fucking bullshit. Like, we're done.
It's just been a week of bullshit. We're like, fuck it all.
I am. I'm done with the kids, even though I'm going to see them in a couple hours when they wake up at the ass crack of dawn. I'm done with the teachers asking for shit. I'm just done.
I'll say this. You know, our government really doesn't do much. You got to give
that is a fucking fact.
Yes, you got to give a little credit here. At least somebody. I mean, they might be 6 years too late, but at least somebody had the balls to be like, I don't know if that stuff's really working. Maybe we should get rid of it. And that's the beautiful thing too about our government. They just kind of pointed it out. It took CVS to say, we're going to pull this from the shelves, you know, because up until then, nobody did anything.
No, because they were afraid. They're afraid some crazy ass, I don't vaccinate my kids kind of a woman was going to be like, oh, I found this medical report because I follow it. Look, and then it goes viral, and then everyone looks like they're bad, and they're trying to, you know, give everyone toxic shit. So it's like, let's be the first ones to do this. Let's look like the good guys.
That felt like a little bit of a shot at Janine there. I don't know.
No. Janine's children are vaccinated, like normal vaccines, like, you know, like everyday ones that we get because, you know, our kids to go to school, they have to take like 755 vaccinations. Those.
Got it.
You know, the ones that have to homeschool their children.
Now I'm on your page.
Now you get it.
Now
Those crunchy people.
Walgreens, that's one of my favorite things that you say. Walgreens has told Fox Business that they are closely monitoring the situation now.
Not good enough. Not good enough.
That's what they're saying. They're like, oh, we're closely monitoring the situation.
Everyone listening, everyone watching, remember that. Walgreens doesn't care.
Walgreens doesn't give a shit about you. No,
they are for profit.
But this always bugged me too, because like I'm gonna get to that in a sec, DJ. The whatchamacallit, what do I take for the allergies? Claritin. Okay, this is what I could never understand. Because this got me the first time around a couple of years ago. They have Claritin D. That's the good stuff. Then I guess some kids started snorting it or whatever, and then they had to put it back behind the pharmacy area.
Yeah.
And then they came out with just regular Claritin, and that's what's on the shelves. Who wants that? Because I made the mistake before, like when they first made that switch and I didn't know what was happening, I bought the regular Claritin and it did nothing for me for a week. until I think you were like, oh, you got to go get the Claritin D. Now I got to get my driver's license to get the Claritin D to get something that will maybe kind of work. Like Claritin D maybe might help you a little bit. What is that Claritin shit? Like, why should they be allowed to sell? Who's taking that and going, oh, great, I can breathe now? Like, I don't know anybody who's like, let me get the regular bullshit Claritin on the shelves.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I'm starting to think that there are a lot of like stupid people in
Yeah.
this country that will just be like, oh, they don't know that. So they just go buy, oh, this Claritin, I'm gonna buy it. Like fast, let me get it. I don't have to go behind the like, stuff like that.
I want to know. Yeah. Who are these fucking people that are buying the regular bullshit Claritin?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
Get rid of that shit next. That's got to go. It's not doing anybody any good. Fuckers.
Obviously.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And scene. First topic in the bag. DJ Shenanigan wants to know, was my mother proud of the video?
Oh God. I don't know.
So we put out a short or a reel or a TikTok today, depending on what social media network you like to watch. And I saw this guy. Who is it? I think it was, I don't know, the name is kind of offensive, but it's his name. Fat gay guy, I think it's called. What's his name? Hold on. Now I got to go back and find it.
He's embracing himself.
Yeah, no, he is. I feel like when I say it, it's bad. It comes out of gay fat friend. Like if it comes out of my mouth, I'm not going to make an apology video to gay fat friend. But gay fat friend comes out with this video and he goes, you either lived in a house where you were proud of your farts or you were fart shamed. And I was like, that's an interesting topic. So I thought it would be funny to do a stitch like we did with the Will Smith video where I blow a fart, then I call my mom to see how, if she was proud or not. You thought it was funny.
I did, and I think she would be proud, especially since I have been in your family for 15 years now, and the amount of times that they talk about bowel movements, I don't think that they would have a problem with it. I think she'd be proud of you.
We do talk about bowel movements an awful lot. It's weird. And it's not from a isn't farts funny perspective. It's from a are you healthy perspective. Yeah. I don't know which one of my great grandmothers or grandfathers had a blockage, but ever since that moment, this family has been overly sensitive about making sure everybody is pooping enough.
Yeah. That and death. So bowel movements and death are the topics. That's true. That happen at holidays.
Yes.
With this family.
Let me give you the synopsis of Thanksgiving. Did you hear who died? Are you shitting? Are you pooping okay? That is Thanksgiving in my family's household.
No, or do you have any watermelon? Watermelon helps me go to the bathroom.
No, that's my mother. My mother is like, watermelon helps me go to the bathroom. I'm like, all right. Then the next day, she's like, you know what helps me go? Pancakes in the morning. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Then the next day, I'm like, have you ever had prune juice? She's like, no, prune juice doesn't work. But I'll tell you what does work really well. Lo mein. I go, I think you just shit a lot, Mom. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure none of your remedies are actual things that help you have a bowel movement. But okay. If it's working for you, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, so I think your family would be very proud of you.
The worst thing you can say in my family is I'm constipated. That will put you on 24-hour intensive care watch. They will just be. Oh my God! Everybody will be calling you. Yeah.
Did everybody you go yet?
Yes.
Is he okay? Did he?
And not only will they call you, but my mother will call my aunt and be like, Aunt hasn't shit in a day and a half, and that will and then my aunt will call my uncle and be like, your nephew's not pooping. Can you call him?
No, that's exactly. Can you call him? They send your uncle after you. But when you say your mother will call you, you don't mean she'll call you. She calls me.
She does. She calls me.
She doesn't call you because she knows you won't pick up because you don't want to deal with all that. So she calls me, and then I think she's calling because she wants to talk to her grandkids. And
Well,
it's actually she doesn't give a shit about her grandkids. She wants to talk to you
I could,
about you.
yeah, I could be in the middle of my day or talking to somebody or having lunch, and all of a sudden my uncle's on the phone going, "Or have you pooped yet?" And I just go, then I go, I can't be answering this phone anymore. So she
I
calls
know.
you.
Yeah, she calls me
Yeah,
and I'm like, "I'm not with him. I don't know what's going on. You could call him." And she's like, "He doesn't answer."
yeah.
And I'm
And then
like,
she goes with this.
"Okay."
Just call me when you poop. Just when you have a nice bowel movement, give me a call.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Ah." And then here's the other thing too. They also they also have my mother has this. My mother who's in Florida, 600 however many miles away from us here in New York. Whenever I go to the bathroom, she calls. I don't know what it. I feel like
Yeah,
we
she
should
has a
sweep
sixth
the house
sense.
for a camera because I feel like just the moment I walk into the bathroom, boom, and it's never a phone call; it's a FaceTime, and that's when
Yes.
I get like I'm on the, I can't answer on the talk. Can't answer a FaceTime now, and then she
No.
goes right to you and goes, and then she goes like this: "You never answer my calls. That's why I don't like calling you anymore."
Yeah.
I'm on the bed.
And she will call you, you block it, you don't wanna talk, and then she calls me, "Is everything okay? Anthony's not picking up."
Yeah.
He's never going to pick up. I wanna tell her he's never going to pick up, but I feel bad, so I can't, so I just take one for the
I
team.
would pick up if I wasn't on the toilet. I should be like Janine's brother, but Janine's brother who likes to send us pictures of his bowel movements.
Oh god.
I should just answer the FaceTime with the camera just facing the toilet with the bowel movement. See how that does for everybody.
Knowing your mother, she would cheer, and she would be jumping up for joy that you were in there.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
So,
true. Well,
it's
if I was
not gonna
blocked,
have the reaction that you think, it's going to have the opposite.
all right. Listen, I feel like this episode's been really shitty so far. No, but so I saw a fat, what was it, gay fat friend? I forget now. And I was like, oh, this would be a funny little thing. But let me give everybody a little background, a little insight. None of that video was real. So the fart wasn't real because I couldn't summon, like, I can't fart on demand. So the fart was a sound effect. And then I was like, I went to find somebody, like a sound effect of a woman answering the phone saying hello, couldn't be found anywhere. I thought I'll call my mother and just do it and see how it goes. And then I thought this will land me in a 3-hour conversation of me trying to explain to her how it was just a
Yeah,
5-second comedy skit.
she doesn't understand that. You can't do that to her.
So I called Cuddles. So Cuddles is who you hear say hello. And then
Yeah.
Cuddles panicked because she had
I
just
was
left the
yeah.
house a minute ago to take our daughter to the bus stop. And I don't know, I guess she panicked because I called.
Yes,
Well, I
well,
know
we
why
have
you
a
panicked, but
family member who is very ill.
who's not
So
doing
I
it.
was like, so you calling me made me think that your mother got in touch with you about, our family member.
Yeah.
So I was like all upset.
Yeah.
But no, you're calling me just for a stupid part of your whatever.
So none
I
of it was
hate
real. But I hope it was kind of entertaining for people in the morning. I don't know. I thought my exhale was a little gross. After I watched it back, I was like, I exhaled a little. It's quite disgustingly me going like I just thought it was
Oh god.
a little disgusting. But anyway, it's out there. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? I don't really care. A lot of people wrote in that they enjoyed it, so that makes me happy. I appreciate all the kind words.
Oh, that's nice.
Robin and Paige and DJ Shenanigans. Thank you for asking. But that's a little behind the scenes on our little 2-second comedy skit from earlier today. But I did kind of, as somebody who does take pride in their farts, I felt like kind of a Barry Bonds, like an imposter going to a pre-recorded fart, you know?
Yeah. I
Like
get it.
Frank's brother or Janine's brother wouldn't talk. Like, I don't want them to find out because I feel like I'll be shamed forever if they discover that that wasn't a unique, genuine fart.
That you couldn't fart on demand?
Yeah, because those guys are like fart hall of famers. Like they know what they're doing. They know what's happening.
Okay, well that's gross.
Cuddles, what's your cocktail there that you made? What do you call that? A lemon?
Oh, a lemon drop martini. I'm actually making myself another one as we speak.
A lemon drop martini.
Yes, I'm putting 2 ounces. Well, it's going to be a little more than 2 ounces of vodka. Oh, shit. It's vodka, like triple sec. And then I made fresh simple syrup. Okay, go me. Fresh lemon juice. I got some cinnamon. No, not cinnamon. No, just sugar. And I zested some of the lemon. Shake it up. I got my glass in the freezer right now. Okay. And that's it.
She frosted the glass, ladies and gentlemen. That is an alcoholic's dedication right there. That's what I
That's
like to
right.
see.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
Listen, got to do what you got to do.
that's important. I remember the
Yeah.
first time I went over to my sister's house. My sister's a little bit older than me.
Fuck, I don't know if I put the triple sec in now.
I put a little more on just to make sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, visited my sister and she gave my dad a beer. She's like, "You want a beer?" My dad's like, "Yeah, okay." She goes into the freezer and pulls out a mug. She was frosting the mugs. This was like in the 90s. And I was just like, I didn't know you could do that. Like I saw it in restaurants, but I was like, the idea of doing it at home was like beyond me that you could put a mug in a freezer, you know. Granted, keep in mind, I grew up in a household where you stuffed the freezer with food until you didn't have one square tiny inch left.
Yeah, there was no room for it, so that's why.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a new thing for me. But anyway.
Yes.
We have I just posted a photograph of your cocktail cuddles on our Instagrams. So go check it out on the Instagram. Like it while you're there, share it. Weekend cocktail, the lemon drop by Cuddles. Recipe will be, I'll put the recipe in later on, but just got the photo out there. It looks delightful. On Instagram, we are Anthony's Faves on Instagram. You could also get the link from anthonyonair.com. Travis and Taylor. I called this.
You did.
And I am thrilled about it because when I saw the headline this morning, I gave one of these. Nobody was in the room with me, but I gave it one of these. Told you so. I told you so. Travis Kelce has bought a $6 million mansion. $6 million. He lived in $1 million home in Kansas City. He has now purchased a $6 million mansion in Kansas City. Why, might you ask? For more privacy.
And we're moving on up to the east side.
He was a humble gentleman with a simple $1 million home. He was living the trailer trash life, right? He was living the life of simplicity until that Taylor Swift came into his life and said, "This is not good. I will not live in this filth. You get me a proper home with high shrubbery and security detail and a staff, damn it. Staff to throw flowers down at my feet."
No, he would never get a staff.
He said, "Yes, ma'am."
Him.
Oh, he's got a staff.
No way.
He's got a staff, all right. You can't have a $6 million home without a staff. You know how big these things are?
I mean, a cleaning staff, but like,
oh, there's a
he's not going to have like a butler. Like, I can't see.
Oh, butler. Oh, butler. Cook.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, people. Cheers, people.
Cheers to you. Cheers to the weekend. He's got it all. That manipulative whore, Taylor Swift, just spoiling our poor Travis.
Listen, she's worth what? Like practically $1 billion?
She's worth so much the Federal Reserve takes loans from her.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it's also for her safety. Wasn't his on like a fucking street?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you could see the sidewalk from the bedroom window.
Oh, she can't do that.
She can't live like that. Just savage. By the way,
you called it. I'm very proud of you. You said it.
I did call it. I thank you. I did call it. By the way, I don't think Taylor's a whore. Just kind of threw that line in there because I don't know how the promo is going to go later. I might want to turn on the Taylor. I might want to turn on the Swifties, get them all fired up a little bit. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying?
That's right, Christine. He needs to be nice.
Yeah, I don't think she's a whore. She's just fine. There ain't nothing wrong with her. But yeah, I definitely like it's clear though, where like I knew it from the get. Like I mean this. There was no way she was gonna live like he lives like the simple life. Like, I mean, Travis makes a good living. He obviously makes a lot of money in the NFL, but he doesn't make entertainer money, you know, and his window of money making, as most NFL athletes are, is a short 4 to possibly 8-year window. That's it.
Exactly. There's no residuals in the NFL.
Yeah, she's been doing it for 17 years and she's going to do it for another 30, you know. These singers just never go anywhere. And then their songs just continue to make money for them, their catalog, their publishing rights, their merchandise. So she's just never going to stop making money. She can't be living in a $1 million home. That's the slums to her. It legitimately is the slums to her. She can't live like that. So he's bought a new house. But I'm telling you, and this is part of the problem. And it's through no fault of anybody's. And I'm dead serious about this. He is going to change. He has to. Taylor Swift is just on a different stratosphere. You can't be a commoner and date this woman. It's impossible. The second she came over and there was fucking paparazzi 10 feet away taking photos, he had to change his lifestyle. And it's not going to be the only thing he changes. Because I bet you if he's driving a Ford F-150, that's going to change to $200,000 Land Rover. You know, it's just, he's just going to keep evolving and changing to catch up to her lifestyle. That's just kind of what happens.
I don't know about the car situation because they were seeing him. Wasn't it like an Impala? Like he had an old school Impala?
Yeah, I think so.
Like all that's kind of cool to like the younger generation. I don't know. Certain things I don't think so. I think he's too, the way that his mother like raised them, I don't think too much will change. I don't overly like him. I like his brother better than him.
You saved yourself with the brother bit there because for a while there, I thought we were going to have to send out an apology video for what you just said. People are like, he's the guy right now. Every female is like, I didn't realize how attractive he was.
Who, Jason or Travis?
Travis.
Oh, no, he's just like too pretty boy. I'm not attracted to that. Like, that's not like someone he's like too into like what he wears and his, like that just like is a turn off to me.
Most NFL guys are like that though, keeping up with the Jones type of situations.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah, a few people are.
Hence why I'm married to you.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate that marriage. I encourage you to keep it going. What was I going to say? You know who?
Gene bangs old homeless guys.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. I hit a button.
What?
I was
oh, you stink.
That was the old.
What the fuck was that?
That was our whatchamacallit, when we did Halloween last year, and I had the stupid bird. I accidentally hit it. I thought you said something. I'm like, what voice is that, Cuddles?
Yeah, that was not me.
Yeah. At what point did you have to? This is a good point from Paige. At what point did you have to just go? Oh,
I was
Crocs guy. I gotta just deal with Crocs guy.
It just like makes you happy. If you're comfortable and you're happy, it's less bullshit that I have to deal with. I have 2 children to already deal with. I don't want to have to deal with a third. So if the Crocs make you happy and they're not annoying you, you're not annoying me.
It's true. Credit to me though. I'm on the same pair of Crocs from the day we got married. Those were some old ass Crocs.
Yeah, but you're not wearing them every single day.
I wish I was, though. I wish
Yeah,
I
I
was.
know you wish you were, but you're not wearing
Life is
them
so
every
great.
single day. That's,
Life is so great. He's got a 16,000 square foot residence, which includes 6 bathrooms, a tennis court, and a pickleball court. He doesn't need a pickleball court.
Yeah,
Look at Travis. This is like by the way, every guy has this conversation with a guy friend. They go like this. What are you doing? Like every time a guy starts dating a girl, he changes himself to impress the girl. And he's got a guy friend right next to him going, fuck are you doing?
Who said that to you?
Nobody, Frank.
No. Frank did not say that.
Frank did say, what the fuck are you doing? He said it to you in the club. You didn't hear him.
He probably did.
No, but it's the truth, though. He's Travis Pickleball Courts. That's what we're all gonna call him. You know,
but isn't that like big now? Isn't everyone playing that?
I guess so. You know what? If you find me on a pickleball court, smash me over the face with a pickleball paddle because I don't deserve it. I hate fucking trends. I hate when people are like, oh, it's good now. The pickleball, kill yourself. Okay. I hope you fucking blow out a knee on that pickleball court, you piece of shit.
What's the difference between pickleball and like tennis?
Well, back when we were a country with borders, we played tennis. Now we just like, it's too big of a court. We gotta. I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just doing things that I feel like would make Frank uncomfortable. I guess pickleball court, but they do actually. The truth is, I did read an article. Kill me for this. That people are blowing their knees out on those pickleball courts.
Are you serious?
Yeah, something about because they're kind of like tighter. They're smaller, so I guess they're cutting back and forth. They got to there's not enough room to run around. So they kind of stop short.
This is why I don't do this kind of shit.
Well, pickleball. Listen, because we know a little bit about pickleball because my parents are in a retirement community. I have no problem with the retirees doing it. Like they were like, oh, I found a thing that's like a little fun pickleball, that kind of shit. And then next thing you know, all of a sudden, there's just like fucking 28-year-olds in Brooklyn that are like, oh, do you want to go to the new pickleball club? They play Mumford and Sons. We play pickleball on a Saturday. It's great,
Oh my God. But honestly, if people are like getting hurt, your parents and the people in the villages should be like the last people doing it then.
Yeah, but they're also having unprotected sex with large groups of people. And so what's a little pickleball and a blown out knee every now and then, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Better than a blown out back, which is what they're used to. Hi-oh. J Sab's line. Real Housewives. I'm concerned about this. Do you remember when we used to be Real Housewives people, Cuddles? Those first couple of years of Jersey, we were all over that shit.
It became really trashy.
Yeah, well, it became the same thing. This is why I bailed out of Real Housewives. Let's go to lunch. Okay. Then the two wives go to lunch and they go, who's a real whore piece of shit is that Deborah. And then the one girl would go back and go call Deborah, be like, Deborah, you want to go to lunch? And then, yeah, okay. You know who called you a real whore piece of shit is that Connie. And now we have the big party where everybody's there. And now it's like, oh, what's Connie and Deborah going to do to each other? Yeah. And it just became this awful, shitty formula that just got tiring after a little while,
Yeah.
Dang Deborah. That's right. Deborah's a real piece of shit too. Deborah plays pickleball in fucking Crown Heights. I'll tell you that right now. Well, Vanity Fair is doing what they describe as a deep dive. They have been doing get ready for this, a 6-month investigation into the Real Housewives.
Do they have nothing else to do with their lives?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who works on a, there was a reporter down in Miami who did a really long-term investigation, and that person uncovered Jeffrey Epstein. These people want to
Jesus Christ.
Want to expose Andy Cohen. I mean, just the fucking level of shittiness we're at is terrible. But yeah, they're doing it. Yeah, who's paying these reporters? I don't even understand it.
Yeah, who's paying them? Because who do they think wants to really know like all of this? Who gives a fuck?
Well, they're saying, the rumors are going around the media circles that the article is expected to delve into the highly demanding work lives of the Real Housewives stars and what they trade in terms of their privacy, their image, and even their mental health and relationships with alcohol in order to keep them their much coveted and highly paid roles. I mean, that's exactly what it is. What do people expect it is? You're giving up all of your privacy and your freedoms to be a sideshow, a mockery. That's what you are when you're on that show, you know?
Yes. But everything is like so staged. Like you're going to lunch and they're recording at your house and you get a phone call at your house like it's all recorded.
Yeah, it really is. Um it really the whole thing is really kind of silly and stupid. But I mean, if they're not being buffoons, if they're not being sideshow freaks, I mean, it's why we fell in love with the Jersey Shore people, right? Because they were crazy drunk assholes
Oh
going out and
god.
making a big fucking scene everywhere.
Oh god.
You've got to be a bit of a sideshow freak if anybody's going to tune in and pay attention. Nobody's going to watch a television show where people go out, converse with one another, and then go home.
Yeah, because now instead of going to a circus to watch circus freak, you're sitting at home and watching it on TV.
Right. Exactly. So, I mean, I listen. And didn't one of the husbands, kill himself at one point?
They're
Right?
all
Was
hot messes. A lot of them are broke, that they're coming off as like I have all this money and wearing all these designers, and you're
yeah.
broke as fuck. You're getting divorced. Who's having like, oh, we're renewing our vows after 12 years, and like a year later they're divorced. It's all like
Yeah.
pathetic.
I will never forget this. One of the housewives, I'm not going to say the name. People might be able to figure it out, and I think Cuddles, you know who it is. One of the housewives, I did. I don't want to besmirch her because when we were doing the charity softball game, she came one year and she brought like a huge crowd. So it was like a really nice thing. But we've run into a bunch of them at Hampton's functions. And I'll never forget, one of them came to the radio station that I worked at to do one of the other shows. Like we had a pop station in the building. So she came to do the show, like, because like any other Real Housewife star, she had a single at one point, right? She had
Yeah.
I should call Govia. I used to work with this guy Govia. I got to send him this clip, and he's like, "Yeah, this housewife, she's got a song." I'm like, "Oh, is it good?" And he's like, "No, it's not good." He's like, "But if I play it, she'll come here, and people will talk about us since she comes here. So that's what I'll do." So that's what he did. And I remember, and you remember the station. It was so shitty and
Mm-hmm.
small. And here's this like, this was kind of during her height, and she came to the station. And she like I'll never forget this. She like was just all over it. Like I just remember how desperate she was to get airplay. And
Yeah.
I never forgot it because I was like, aren't you above this? Like, aren't you bigger? You're on Bravo, and here you are, you know. I mean, granted, but how it works in radio is if you get airplay on one station, another station knows. Next thing you know, you're on 20 stations. And especially for us, like in the Hamptons or New York or LA or Chicago, you get on one of those stations and powerful people hear it, so it can catch on really quickly. And you go from 20 stations to fucking 1,500 stations. And next thing you know, you got a hit on your hands. So that's clearly what she was trying to do. But I just remember thinking, wow, this is really like, she's like, I expected her to come in, be here for 15 minutes, 20 minutes and be out the door. Because I remember when she came to do the softball game with us, she came and she pitched the first inning and she left. She was like, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
And she left, but she was like really working. I remember thinking how desperate that was. And then it wasn't that long later where I saw her right by our house is we have a gas station, we have a Starbucks, and we have a McDonald's. And most of the celebrities will stop there because most people stop there on their way out to the Hamptons. This is like where Cuddles and I live is like right where everybody stops to pee and get a coffee and
Yeah.
get their kids nuggets before continuing on to the
Yeah.
Hamptons.
Like, what do they call us? The gateway to the Hamptons?
The gateway to the Hamptons, yeah. So I'm at the gas station and I look over and I see her And I did have that moment where I was like, oh, should I say hi? Because I've seen her in like 2 places now, but I didn't. And then I'll never forget that she got into one of those Volkswagen Bugs,
Yeah.
and which, believe me, is a fine car. It's a fine car. But I just remember getting into that, and that was her car. She was driving a Volkswagen Bug, which is fine. But this particular housewife, as they paraded her around on television, was like beyond millions, but maybe even billions. Like they
Yeah.
acted like she had like all this crazy huge money. She had just gotten divorced from a super wealthy guy. And I'm like, what is she doing driving a fucking Volkswagen Bug? And I was like, maybe it's her daughter's car, or whatever. But then I think, didn't we like look it up and her daughter was like 12 or something? So that
Yeah.
didn't
It was
play.
her.
Yeah, it was like her car. And I was kind of like, wow, this is all just a lie and a sham. This is just a fucking, this is not to say
Yeah.
that people on that show don't have money, but I don't think everybody had like that. Bethany Frankel, good for her. She made her way in the world, but in the beginning, she had nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think she even talks about the fact that she was like broke a lot of the time.
Yeah. In the beginning, she had like nothing, and now she like made herself into like an empire.
She
I
had that,
follow her on TikTok.
I think she had a talk show, which is just terrible. I think she's a good personality though, but the most brilliant idea she had was that skinny margarita shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really caught on with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, we're looking at a real expose. Although I have to tell you, and I really I believe this. I believe in journalism. I think that one of the biggest problems we're facing in society is there's no more true, genuine journalism anymore. Like back in the day, there was integrity, and there was, I got to have 2 sources. It's got to be backed up. It's got to be a real story. We've really lost that. And there's crowdsourced journalism, which can be good at times. Sometimes it cannot be good. But you look at some of these outlets right now, and it used to be the what was the one where they always had the lists? Shit.
List? What kind of list?
Yeah, there was always like it was like popular 10, 15 years ago. It was like an internet site. Oh, it just went right out of my head.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
you had these websites coming up, and they were just getting like these massive clicks and all this stuff. And, they started doing these stories, and they would just be barely stories. They wouldn't have sources. They wouldn't have double sources. They wouldn't be able to confirm things.
Yeah.
And they would just put stuff up, and they were getting massive numbers, and they were kicking the shit out of the New York Times and the Washington Post and Fox News and all these, and until these places decided, well, we're just going to do that. And now you look at some of the things that the New York Times is doing, or, some of these other quasi news outlets and some of the more serious news outlets. And you go, they're just doing this stuff for clicks. They know if they write about Travis Kelce, or if they write about, whatever, they're just going to get a lot of eyes and attention, and it's just going to help them sell ads on their site. And that's it. So it's like you can't really protect. I think it was just earlier today that Twitter, or X, took away the New York Times verification badge, because they feel like at this point they're just doing stuff for clicks. I mean, this is the fucking New York Times. It's the goddamn paper of record.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, but they're all doing it. The Washington Post is doing it. Listen, there's still great journalists out there, but not every department in the journalism in the paper is a fucking real thing. Some of them are out there just to get some fucking clicks and shit.
Yeah.
So, it's a tough time where we're at with it all, but I don't know. You still need real journalism. You still need real.
You do. 100% you do.
Anyway, let's talk about this 15-year revenge plan, Cuddles.
Oh God.
I'm happy because I saw this headline. I'm like, oh, this will be fun to talk about. Then I didn't read it, and you were like, did you hear about this story? So
Oh
you're going to tell
my
us all about the 15-year
God.
revenge plan.
So this is amazing. Okay. Every woman out there, she is making us proud. And every man out there should watch himself. So a woman her name is Linda Hurd, finds her on TikTok. Awesome. Mwah. Chef's kiss. So this is like a revenge. So like 15 years ago, her and her friends are at like a comedy show. Her friend gets up and her chair falls back and hits a guy, and his drink spills on him. And this girl her friend is apologizing. I'm sorry. Let me buy you a drink. This asshole of a guy calls her a stupid fat bitch, and then he spits on her. Horrible piece of shit.
Hmm.
So her friend, goes to the bathroom, and the friend starts screaming at the guy, and he calls her an ugly bitch. So if I can tell you about women, is that we are petty as fuck. Okay. So this friend, she goes home and she goes on Facebook and she finds his profile. Now, 15 years ago, everyone is like, oh, this is my like, this is my like, I love this show, this, and this. That is his downfall. So she finds everything that he likes, and she goes on every single site that has spoilers. Everyone. And she sets up fake Facebook accounts, and she continues to send this guy, because she found him, she sends him the spoilers for all his favorite shows. Okay, genius. Hello, this woman is a genius. Let's put her on a pedestal. So on a weekly basis, she is doing this to this man. He gets so freaking mad, and she's doing it for months. Okay? If I can say one thing about women, we will go for months to years with our revenge. We don't give a fuck. We are so petty. So she was in class, she was in college. She's in class one day. She is in her poli science class, her political science class. And who is in her class?
The guy?
This douchebag. Oh my God. And guess what? He's that asshole in class that argues over everything. You just want him to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
This is him. So, he starts, talking and gets her pissed off. So one day in class, she sees him pull up a PowerPoint, presentation, and she looks at the username at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So she sees that, because we see everything, babe. You know me. I
Yeah.
see everything. We see everything.
Mm-hmm.
She takes that username. She goes and she researches that username. She finds it on Reddit. She searches that on Reddit. Everything. She finds out his interests again. Because at this point on Facebook, there's a lot more if you're not friends with him, you can't see his interest anymore. You can't see what he's posting anymore. Now she has his Reddit, so she finds his interest. She's like, this is it, motherfucker. I'm going to do it again. She goes and she gets the spoilers for all his new interests, and she sends it to him. He is getting crazy. He's getting mad. She just keeps laughing. He keeps blocking all these Facebook accounts that she keeps opening. And she just keeps doing it and doing it and doing it. Okay, so after a while, she's like, okay. She stops. She moves on. Well, 8 years later, eight fucking years later, He pops up. He is engaged now to a friend of a friend. Okay. So, she's going to see everything. So she's like, oh, let me see what he's been up to. She goes back to Reddit. She puts that same username in that she got when she saw his PowerPoint program 8 years before.
Oh my God.
Right? We do not forget anything. I know what you did on our second date 25 minutes into the date. Okay. So she goes on Reddit. She finds pictures of him, and he is passing these pictures off as him and his fiance. Now, he is in fact engaged, but the girl that's in the pictures with him on Reddit is not his fiance. So she, because we, as a female, we help each other out. We have each other's back.
There is a big girl code. I noticed that. You guys.
Girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of videos and posts. I saw one this morning. This girl was like, I'm in this car with this guy, and she goes into the, like the little pocket in the door, pulls out a hair clip. She's like, look what I found in the door. He's
got a girlfriend.
She pans the car and goes, any ladies recognize this car? It had like 40 million shares on it. Like the women love to just expose a shitty asshole, and good for them.
Yeah,
I mean, guys are stupid.
100%.
Yeah.
So she takes all of these pictures and all this information she gets off Reddit, and she messages his actual fiance. Now, it's been a couple years, because again, it's 2 or 3 years from when it happened in the beginning, and then 8 years. She finds out the real fiance thanked her. She thanked her after she sent her all that. They broke up. His engagement was broken up. The fiance that she sent the pictures to is now married and has children and is very happy and is living her best life because she listened to girl code, and he is a miserable piece of shit. So 15 years of revenge. This should tell you, men, don't fuck with us, because you think the FBI and the CIA are bad. Do not fuck with a female, because we will wait, and we will get our revenge.
15 years of just lying in the weeds waiting. That's amazing.
This girl, oh my God. Oh, I'm telling you. I am telling you. This is admirable. I am like, this is the epitome of fuck around and find out. Okay? This is so admirable. And I have to say to that woman, God bless you. She is doing Jesus's work.
I feel like there's a movie here starring Katherine Heigl, right? I mean...
100%.
Somebody call Katherine Heigl and they get a producer, and we'll have this made in 6 months. We'll have it in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her and Drew Barrymore.
Her or Drew, yeah, whoever's available at the time. Well, Drew's in bed.
Or both. Drew can be the friend. She could be the friend that the one that's engaged and says thank you. She fits that perfect.
No, who's the fucking friend? Oh, who was that woman? We just saw her in the movie with Paul Giamatti. She is like the quintessential friend. Give me 2 seconds and I'm going to have it for everybody. She is like the friend in every one of these romantic comedy movies, like nonstop. What was the one that we just saw? Shit, on Netflix. Remember? They were trying to have the baby.
Scarlett Johansson?
No.
They were trying to have Jake Gyllenhaal's sister.
No, that's not her.
I don't know then.
Oh, this is going to kill me. Why isn't this on fucking IMDb? Killing me, IMDb. Did anybody see this? Anybody in the live chat have this? It was Paul Giamatti and this woman who is in
Oh,
everything.
oh, she's a comedian.
No, I don't think she's a comedian. She's an
No,
actress.
no, and wasn't it a family member? They wanted her to be the surrogate. Is that the movie we're talking about?
Yes, Catherine Hahn.
Oh, yes, yes. Because wasn't she the friend in? No, she wasn't the friend. Was she the friend in Juliet?
She's
Julie
the
and Julie.
fucking friend in everything.
Okay, she's funny.
She is, and she's great. She is always the friend. She's always the friend. I feel like none of these pictures are good pictures, but Catherine Hahn. Everybody Google Catherine Hahn. Catherine Hahn is always the friend. We're gonna get Heigl. We're gonna get both Catherines. Let me see here. What's her fucking IMDb? All the movies Catherine Hahn is. I think she look. She's starring in shit now, and rightfully so. She's great. But for a while, wasn't she in 27 Dresses too? Maybe. Where she was like the friend.
No, 27 Dresses was Two Sisters.
Bad Moms.
Yeah.
She was the friend in Bad Moms.
Yep.
She's funny that way. That's one of those movies. I don't think we saw that one. We're the Millers. She was the friend. She was in The Newsroom. I don't remember that.
Me neither.
Our Idiot Brother. How Do You Know? Friend. Step Brothers. She played the wife of the brother. Remember?
Yeah.
Kind of again the friend role. She's in The Holiday.
Love The Holiday.
She's
that movie.
She's the friend in Anchorman. She's the friend in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Step Brothers,
like the serial friend.
She's the fucking friend. She's the fucking friend in everything. I love her. Anyway, wow. So that's kind of crazy. 15 years. So now the guy's, that's it. He got dumped.
Yep. Like Rhoda said, hell hath no fury like the wrath of a woman.
No shit. That's why I don't fuck around with women. You fuck around and find out. They're not going to forget shit. I don't mess. You're broken.
Exactly.
Women are broken.
Anything.
Yes, but that doesn't mean they're non-functioning. They will still fuck some shit up, especially dumb, easy targets, which tends to be men. Very dumb.
100%. You guys are fucking stupid. You just don't get it.
Very stupid. Very easy targets. All right. J Sabs is. Well, I don't know what she's doing, but she's trying to make it. I don't think she's gonna make it. This was her topic, which is what is the average person in America? How many partners have they had? How many sexual encounters have they had in their lifetime? Take a guess on that number. This was I want to see some guesses in the live chat and on the replay in the comments. Let me know the guesses. It's a fun little game to play along with. How many people do you think the average American has slept with? This was a survey done by Nap Lab. They compiled data from various sources to come up with this list of the most promiscuous countries in the world. Just in case you're curious, I'll give you some hints. America landed at number 15 in promiscuity. 15.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you take a guess at what the average number is that people have slept with?
8.
Cuddles says 8. Bird says 20. Renee says 22. Renee and Bird getting out there a little bit. DJ Shenanigans says 9. Robin says 18. He's up there with Bird and Renee getting out there. April 12. Dr. Dex 16. Onion 12. Average AOA 50. Average American 8. Brenda 6. Now let me say this. First of all, I think everybody lies about this number. Yes. Second of all, I think that any list is going to be, not so true.
Yes.
What did you say, Cuddles? 8?
I said 8.
I tend to go with Brenda a little more and say everybody's in that 4 to 6 range. But according to this list, 10.7, which means most on average Americans have slept with 10 people and somebody who's not that tall. 10.7 people.
And we don't, what are they?
Little person.
People?
Little people.
So 10 people and a little person?
Yeah. And now I feel like that's high. I feel like that's on the high side. I feel like that's most Americans who are at 5 or 6 and go, 10. Or at 7 or 8 and go, 12. I feel like there's always a little padding in there.
You always you round up.
Well, it's funny that you say that. Paige just said women count down, men count up. Women round down, men round up.
Yeah, you see how fucked up that is? Men have to feel like they've done, like, the more the better, and the women are like, oh, the less the better. That's fucked up.
It is. It's an unfair societal whatever.
Oh, 0.7 is foreplay. Okay, DJ.
0.7 is whiskey dick. 0.7 is it kind of started and then it fizzled out.
Yeah, so it was like they tried, but it didn't work.
Didn't quite work out. So 10.7, the average American is what they say. On par with Canada. Must be something in our water. They're around 10.7 as well. They say folks from Mexico less promiscuous than the U.S. with an average citizen down there sleeping with 9 people. Brits less likely to have as many sex partners, 9.8 on average. Spain 6.1, Polish 6, Chinese 3.
So what they're saying is Americans, we're all whores.
I think what they're saying is the Chinese are the only honest people.
Yeah.
Chinese are like 3. And they're like, you're supposed to just make it up a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, no, 3.
Yeah. Americans, they're sitting there with 3 going, I don't know, 10,
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see. We have relatively low numbers of citizens believed to having premarital sex being morally acceptable. So there you go. 65% of U.S. citizens thought it was okay to get steamy in the sheets before you were wed. Does that even still matter to people? I don't know. Maybe it's because we're old, but I'm gonna definitely put the fear of God into our children.
Well, I think to the how do you call them? Evangelists.
Evangelical.
That's it. Evangelical. I think it matters to them. To everyone else, it doesn't.
In France, it doesn't fucking matter. 94% said it was not a big deal at all. Not a moral issue whatsoever.
I don't even think a lot of them get married. They just have partners.
Yeah, they're out there just fucking like crazy.
They're fucking smart.
French people got it on. Australia was named the most promiscuous country in the world, with the average citizen sleeping with 13.3 people and 81% of residents approving of sex before marriage. Well, prostitution is legal in Australia?
They're just one big orgy in that company.
Yeah, they sure are. Well, look how far away they are from everything else. They're like, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
We're stuck on this island. We might as well fuck a lot.
Yeah, we have all these crazy spiders and all these fucking things that can kill us. You better just enjoy life as we,
You never know we're gonna get stung by that crazy big spider. Let's go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
There's some fucked up shit there.
The STD rate, which was also part of this survey, STD rate in Australia, 14,454 per 100,000 citizens, while it's far higher in the U.S. at 19,900 per 100,000 citizens.
So we're just lazy whores.
Yeah,
we don't even want to put on condoms. We're
cannot
just
lazy
put fucking whores.
Agree. Cannot put a condom on. No time for it.
Okay.
No time for it.
We're just doing really great, aren't we?
Yeah. Now, Paul's got a good point here. How much of this sex is due to these signs in people's homes that say live, love, laugh? That's what I'd like to know. It's a good point, Paul. Those signs are probably responsible for a lot of children.
That or those signs that say "Love lives here."
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
What was that sign that went viral? This is Pound Town. Remember in the bedroom of the house on Zillow?
We will never have a sign like that. Just know that.
You know what we have to talk about? Everybody, I meant to bring this up during Real Housewives. It's too late now. We got to end the podcast, Cuddles. Andy Cohen banging John Mayer. Everybody seems to think these two are fucking.
They bought like a house together.
Like John Mayer's
That's
moved
what they're
into his
saying.
house. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like they bought a house together. Like they're together.
it's crazy because Mayer there was slaying a lot of chicks, laying a
Yeah,
lot of pipe.
I think that's all fucking fake. I think they're together. Just be open. It would be like you and fucking Frank buying a house together. Like it's just fucking weird.
Weird or a dream come true.
I don't know.
Good
I don't
fart.
think you both could live together. I think you both would kill each other.
No, we couldn't live together. We couldn't. We definitely could not. There is an age where you just like, because when we were younger, like we'd go away, we'd share. It would be like 6 guys in a hotel room. You know, we'd be fucking drinking and farting, and
Yeah. Now, wait. You used to go to Atlantic City and go crazy, and like you said, 6. But now, if they want a room with more than 2 people in a room, will you go?
No, it would never happen. I think we're even beyond 2 people in a room. I think every guy would be like, I'm getting my own room. I don't want you anywhere fucking near me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're at that point in our lives where we're like, no, I'm not sharing a bed. I'm not spooning to Selena. And that's it.
All right, now I have to tell that story.
All right.
We were at a bachelor party, I think. I don't even remember anymore. I think it was Atlantic City. And again, it was one of those situations where there was like 6 guys in the room. We used to like bring blow up beds and put it on the floor and bring the cot in and all the crazy, stupid shit. And it would be like 2 dudes to a bed. You know, you would just crash. One would go under the covers, one would go above. And you'd be just drunk and you'd sleep it off for the night. So me and a buddy, we were in the same bed, and we get up in the morning and he puts the TV on, and it's it's the Selena movie. And the 2 of us just laid in bed and watched the entire Selena movie together. Well, everybody in the room was sleeping. And we're just like,
Choose the channel.
We're like, oh, look at this part. She's so talented. She was just so what a shame this was. And so
I can't. Oh my god, and I just can't.
It was a good movie, and Jennifer Lopez played a hell of a role in that movie. It's just 2 dudes sharing a bed, watching a film together. What are you gonna do?
2 dudes sharing a bed, spooning, watching Selena.
We're just like, she's so. Look at this. Look at that piece of shit who killed her. What a piece of shit. We're just getting all angry in bed together. The room smells like liquor and farts and somebody puked.
And like feet.
Yeah, and feet. It's just everybody's like sweating in the club, and then they just go right into bed. Just disgustingness. Just awful disgustingness.
And you're there snuggling, watching Selena.
We weren't snuggling.
Don't fucking lie. You know you were spooning.
Oh, shit. That happens. In fact, I put that in my average. I counted that as people I slept with. That's how I got to 10.7. I counted that one morning during the Selena movie, All right, Cuddles, that's all I got. You got anything else?
I have nothing else.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being here. You were great as always.
Oh, I love being here. Thank you for having me.
If you want to Sea Cuddles weekend cocktail. It's the lemon drop. It's the Cuddles lemon drop. It's up on our Instagram right now. Go there. It's Anthony's Faves on Instagram. That's Anthony's Faves on Instagram. You can get the link at anthonyonair.com. Don't forget, it is Stillbirth Awareness Month. JSAB's charity that's very close to her heart. We are raising awareness and raising funds. You can click the link in the description and go on over to the donate page. Find the Team Diana Hope if you can. Donate under that, but under any circumstance, the donation is greatly appreciated. And of course, Oval, the book by Erin, is still available in Amazon. You could order that with the link in the description as well. We also have our merch link in there if you'd like, and the link to become a member. 19 months for Bird. Thank you so much to her and all our members. Catch you guys on the next one.
Show me potato salad.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Enjoy
Maybe we
it.
should go now.